Hello, everyone. It's Callie B. Owens here with Bold Invisible, and I'm here today with Khera from Paris and Kirei from Calgary, Alberta, and both of these beautiful and amazing women were in the September 2020 Bold and Visible cohort. We are getting ready to take the stage at the Bold and Visible Monologues on April 24th. And Khera and Kirei both have truly amazing stories that they are going to be sharing with you. And I can't wait for you all to see them. We're here today just to talk about stories, to talk about getting bold and visible, why it's so important in this time. I truly believe we're going over a threshold right now that everything is changing in the way we live, the way we work, the structures that we have relied upon in this world and society are falling away. And there's never been a more important moment when our voices and our contributions and our visibility, our witness have been needed on this planet. And so Bold and Visible is really about women coming together and really standing in and for their voice and releasing anything that's stopping us from actually being fully visible in the world. And the truth is, we've all had these huge potentials. We've been carrying them around. We've been inside of them and growing them. Khera and Kirei have had amazing journeys in their life. They're amazing women. I can't wait for you to meet them. And they are ready now to go over another threshold. And it's a threshold that I believe we all need to go over. So I'm so excited to talk to you both. Beautiful to be on this side of the journey with you. So I'd love for you to introduce yourself and tell us, who you are, sort of where you're from, a little bit about yourself and why, what inspired you to join Bold and Visible.
My name is Khera, and I'm so happy to be here today. Thanks a lot, Callie. I am an engineer and also a coach. I'm living in Paris, France. And I'm a coach for 15 years now. And why I joined Bold and Visible, it's time to get visible, because as you, I really felt this calling deep inside me to be able to impact the world with my gift, my talent, because I really think that it's time to change. It's time to be able to spread excellence, love, cooperation, safety. But I was missing something. Every time I was developing a huge program for female leader in corporate France, but my body was acting against me. Then I decided to join your group to be able to find my voice in safety, with proudness too. With shine, to be able to bright, to be able to guide other women in the same pathway.
Wonderful. I love that, Khera. Yeah, I mean, this work is so much around our somatic safety and our ability to really own and stand for our voice. I love what you're doing in corporate France with feminine leaders. I can't wait to talk more about it. Thank you so much. Kirei.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Callie. This is a great little gathering here this morning. I'm Kirei, and I'm a health sovereign and a bit of a rebel. So that's led me to a life of entrepreneurship. And I've been really blessed. I've been able to create and align businesses that are really in my value system. And currently I run a beautiful little business in Calgary, Canada, and recently in Kelowna, Canada, called Evolved Strength. And my passion is really helping people discover just this amazing physical body, the strength, the capacity, the power and responsibility we have to take care of these vessels that carry us through just a beautiful, active, and joyful lifespan. So that's what I'm up to. And I came to Bold and Visible initially because I wanted to save the world. My mission was so big. But what happened for me through the program is it actually became about me and really about that visibility. And my frustration was, I wasn't being able to express what I wanted to about my passion, my business, the power of what I do in the world. And I realized that I could speak one-on-one, I could speak with my team, but if I got in front of a camera or in front of a big group of people or somebody that intimidated me, I would just freeze up. And then, my words wouldn't come. I would feel, I sound so stupid, judging myself and feeling really frustrated. So it was the visible part. I feel like I've kind of got the bold and the courageous, but I learned about that as well. It was the visibility. I wanted to become visible.
Awesome, Kirei. So I love this because, getting visible, let's talk about that first then. This is so cool because it's so much more than having a good marketing platform, right? Like, I'd love to hear your guys' experience, your beautiful women, about what is being more visible to you now at this end. What does it mean? What's shifted for you around that? Because, we can have, we can go to Toastmasters, and you guys are going to share your story. So that's super powerful. And that's part of it. But having the right words and putting them in the right place and having the right marketing platform doesn't shift your ability to be actually visible. Kirei, can you tell us what that means for you? Like, what does being actually visible mean for you?
Well, was that a Kirei or a Chiara?
Whoever wants to start.
Go, Kirei.
Okay, I'm being visible here. It's a personal thing in my personal life and relationships. Again, I would find myself not expressing what was really true for me and really not even knowing what was true for me. I'd sort of trained that down, like just put a lid on it. And then in my business life. And so, a great thing, power of commitment, right? As soon as I registered for the program, literally within weeks, I was asked to speak at my industry conference. And this is a big thing for me. It's a worldwide conference. And unfortunately, it was rescheduled to a Zoom. It wasn't in person. And from that, came invitations to podcast and another invitation to join the conference as a speaker again next year. And so I felt myself literally immediately catapulted into an up level. And I wasn't ready for it. But thank goodness the program started. And I immediately began to implement that more embodied presence and capacity to, overcome that camera phobia, that freeze pattern from my past, and really just show up as myself and feel comfortable and natural and just really good enough. Anyways, I'll speak more on it, I'm sure.
Love it. You guys, and Kirei is a 5th degree black belt and a serial entrepreneur. She's not a shy woman, and she's not a woman that isn't highly accomplished. So it's like, still we can be very highly accomplished and inside of chronic invisibility patterns, which are not just about, having a good speaking experience. It's kind of inside of this old somatic pattern that we can come out of and really enjoy ourselves with. Chiara, what about you?
About me, it was a little bit different. For the last 5 years, I was developing, after having a career with the launching program of the other, like a negotiation from Harvard or using the tools of other coach, really famous in France, or working for them. I decided to launch my own activity and to create my own program, to find my own authority and my personal voice. And at this moment, without making the link, I had big panic attacks. And because I am a warrior, because I am really, I want to be successful, I am curious, I decided to go over my panic attack, but more I go step by step. That was really exhausting, and my body was suffering, and I see my face becoming older, and something was really painful for me. I stopped to sleep, I stopped to be happy, I don't have any pleasure. And I really make the link between that and visibility.
Yeah.
When, first of all, I came to that program, it was a big intuition. I decided to come, even if I didn't have any problem in my life to be able to speak in public.
Right.
In front of big audience. But I realized
you were already a speaker. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, I was able to do it when I wasn't speaking about myself with authenticity, with emotion.
Got it.
If I was speaking about myself with authenticity, with emotion, I was totally frozen. And when I decided to launch my own program, I was in the same situation. Then going in that part of my vulnerability make me froze every time. I stay for the first time 6 months in a panic attack without sleeping 2 hours a night, and with that body really painful. And that's really what I learned in It's Time to Get Visible. It was able to find that I have to be able to speak about myself, my true voice, find the story and the roots. And it was unexpected because I didn't have any that objective at the beginning. I didn't know that that story will come up in the process and open for me new possibility and open a new window, a new door, and let me make a peace with myself and my own voice and my own creativity, and be able to express it to everybody and own it. And that was really a surprise, and an incredible, beautiful surprise for me.
So interesting. Kirei, I see you smiling. I sense that you feel some of the same thing, right? Like we're already so out in front. You can't not be when you're an entrepreneur. But when it comes to stepping out as us with our unique gifts, great when we're supporting other people. I was a CEO for many years, out in the corporate world and doing really important things. And I'm an elegant leader and speaker, but when coming to your own body of work, it's a whole other up level. It requires a whole other level. And this is stepping into it. I love it. I'm so curious. Chiara, you said about your story. Let's talk about the story for a minute. What surprised you guys about the story process? If you were to tell people, okay, why does Callie use story? Kirei, what surprised you, and what role is story playing for you in your stepping over a threshold here?
Yeah, there's a lot that surprised me. First of all, the story crafting itself. I mean, my story of transformation really is about growing up in a family where we didn't talk about difficult things. We didn't complain, we didn't brag. And I trained myself to keep those things suppressed. And so the story process, my very story is the story process. And the resistance that came up to being that person, I felt like, well, I just sound like I'm complaining about a lot of things, or I can't say that. That sounds like I'm just a bragger, and really moving through those old conditioned patterns and brilliantly through the container of the program and being so lovingly held and yet so challenged and, such a momentum to move forward with the group and stay with it. And the resistance, I don't want to leave that yet because it's just everywhere and so sneaky. It's like mischievous and devious. And I recognized how often in my life resistance is at play. And for me, a big piece of resistance is I'll kind of go into that, it's hard, it's too hard, I can't do it, that kind of red light collapse that we learn about. And then I'll be, but there's something kind of pleasant over there that I'll distract myself with, and I'll feel a little better, but I'll be completely off track because I've distracted myself with my, my flowers or a book or something. And it's a distraction. It's taking me off my course. It's a way of feeling a little bit more pleasant. Yeah, that's a good thing. Those are good things. But I've been taken off track as a result of this sneaky resistance.
Yeah, I think that's so important. Chiara, I'd love to hear about your story and any resistance you had. I think, we talk a lot about resistance in the program. I mean, I'm sure that I'm just a broken record. We look at the somatic arc of transformation and how things shift in the nervous system as we're going through this program. And at certain points, we're very disorganized in our body and in our narrative about the world related to that, and in the way we move into the world and live in the world. And our resistances can be, like you said, inside, they can be outside, they can be our calendars. There, so many things come up, and this is why the container of all of you women together holding each other accountable to keep going, right? Chiara, was there any point when you wanted to stop doing the work, or there was resistance to going deeper?
I was totally committed to do the work, doing every day, twice a day, the somatic practice, because I was really committed to disrupt my panic attacks. I decided that that was the last one. Then for Christmas, my gift will be to disrupt that processes of panic attacks. Then I was totally committed. But yes, I learned a lot in the process because I began my story in a subject that was really important for me. I made a link between the trauma of my parents who live in a war country and then have a lot of trauma, then give us a lot of trauma, and my panic attacks. Then I was digging in that direction. And I realized during the process that I tried to please everybody, even if anybody asked me to please them. But then I wasn't aligned with the story I was creating. And it was so incredible when we had this coaching together to realize that the process helped me to clarify a big old pattern, a big behavior that was really not allowing me to develop my gift. That was to hide my voice, hide my choice, not be able to be connected with my needs, my own desire, and try to find the best story to please everybody. And at the end, nobody. That was really what I learned during the process, and that was incredible.
Yeah, amazing. It's like, I love that you said that in Kirei as well, like the process. So we go through months of this deep somatic work and working towards letting go of some of these things. And then as we get into our story, it literally is still processing that through our body and through our narrative. But on the other side, we have this transformation. We're like, what? I feel more like me. And now, but not only do we have a story that we've cultivated, it's something that we can stand forward with, and others see us through it. Others trust us through it. Others feel our presence through it. I mean, Chiara, with your story, like, where are you now with that? It's so fun to see it. I can't wait for everyone to come and see Chiara's story, because she's stepping forward in an entirely new way. How's your story? Like, what surprised you about where you got to?
I'm speaking a better English.
Yeah.
I'm more confident. And yes, most important, I was developing and launching my program for female leader in corporate. And each session for me, each preparation and also each facilitation was really painful. The pain of anxiety in my body was incredible. And after the third session, I was so surprised to see that I began to have pleasure, joy, to be creative. And that was really amazing. I think I didn't feel that sensation for years. And I was really thinking that for me, I have a big grief and sadness in me to think that I was unable to have joy and pleasure in my job, even if I was working with an incredible, beautiful, kind woman. But that pain in my body was so extreme. And after the third session, I see, yes, it was decreasing. And now I don't have any more pain in my body. The pain of anxiety disappeared. And that's amazing, an incredible gift and benefits of the process.
Beautiful. Because the truth of you, Khera, is you're just this joyfully open, creative woman, not this anxiety, right? Like, so you've just stepped into more of yourself, and the pleasure that comes with that is amazing. And we're seeing you, like everyone, like, you know, we see Khera just shining. Kirei too.
Well, Callie, that was something that was so beautiful, was the witness aspect, and literally watching the women transform as they told their stories, those early days where the stories weren't, you know, they weren't quite there, but then receiving this loving feedback, and actually experiencing what an impact the stories had on women as we shared how things landed, how we were relating to one another, and literally watching women's faces just soften and light up with a beautiful feminine glow. And to be part of that, like just this little sacred space that Callie masterfully creates for us. The power of that witness, you know, we used to say, Callie, we've known each other for over a decade, but it's, you cannot become yourself by yourself. And really that exquisite experience of actually being seen, telling this vulnerable story of one's experience in life, not your whole life, thank goodness, but, and then having women say, wow, did that ever land for me? Wow, I feel like I see you in a whole new way. It was life-changing, those moments.
Yeah, and we just, for witnessing each other in the group, for being able to move out into the world now and be seen and received in a way that's so much more vulnerable and open and less of this armor that we have. But also everyone gets to look so beautiful and relaxed. Like, for those of us that know us, you know, it's like we just relax into ourselves. We become so much more comfortable. Okay, so we're gonna bring it to a close soon, but I just want to ask you both, like, okay, so if you were to describe the Bold and Visible program or process to someone, I know it's hard to describe, but what would you say, Kirei?
It is difficult to find words. Reminds me a bit of my protocol. It's like, just come in and try it. Because
right. It's experiential.
Your body will tell you a lot through the process. So, you know, my suggestion is try it on, you know, try, come out to our Bold and Visible Monologues and, and try some practices and feel it in your body. It's really, I think, a process of becoming your real self, becoming comfortable in your own skin, being you, just natural. This is me, no apology. This is who I am. This is how I am. This is how I walk through the world now. And that is an incredible thing. And that's the process. I can't even really share the how. There's so much depth and richness to it. And it's challenging, it's confronting, it's safe, it's wow moments.
Yeah, love it. Being more you, walking through the world as you, comfortable in your own skin, no apologies,
Like
no
a
forcing.
radical self-acceptance, you know?
Oh, cool. Radical
Like
self-acceptance.
I can take up space, and I am not apologizing for being here with those old patterns of kind of shrinking back or just, oh, I shouldn't say that. Nope.
Love it. Kara.
I think I will add, because I totally agree with Kirei, and I will add to become sovereign, a space of safety, something really with a structure, a container, but also totally experiential. And that is really build trust and safety and confidence. And yes, as Kirei say, you have to come, you have to do it, you have to live that experience to be able really to shine, to be able to express your own voice, your own authority in safety, and access to playfulness, joy, because I know that many women have so many gifts to share, so many talent to share, but also so many fears. And the world is scary. It's time to become sovereign and to develop our strength, and also this incredible network of women and the support of others to be able to shine and be only who we are. Mm-hmm. As a gift.
Yeah, it's something special. So the container and the body of work itself is so important, but being able to practice in an experiential way with other women, with other witness, and the vulnerability of being with them and they with you, it's like something really powerful and deep that you just can't, it's hard to describe it.
Yeah, it's so rich. Yeah.
Rich, yeah. And I mean, for me, as the guide, and this is my body of work, but of course, I'm getting so much out of every second that I'm in the space. It's kind of, in a way, it's a little bit selfish. I'm so excited about the Bold and Visible Monologues. So this is a space where women can come, and just like Kirei and Chiara said, come and try out some of the embodied practices. It's a first-person experience. In fact, the whole Bold and Visible is, right? It's not a bunch of head knowledge. It's not something most people have done before. It's first person, a lived experience. So if you come out, have a little taste, and then you get to see and witness these amazing, amazing stories of these women. Let's just close with what excites you, Kirei and then Chiara, about April 24, coming up and actually standing forward and sharing your story. What excites you most, or what are you looking forward to?
Wow. To be bold and visible, to actually have that camera on and know that it's going out there. I have no control over who's seeing this, and that I now feel the confidence and capacity to simply be myself, to be natural. I have an important story to share that I know will impact women. I know that it can be in service, and it is in service to me. And there's just so much. I mean, I'm excited to be part of our community of women that are sharing that day, but then the expansiveness of that, that it's just going out there. It feels big and bold.
Beautiful. It's a multiple thresholds to stand on, because it's this place where we come forward and we're no longer hiding. We're in service to others. Our business will start to go, but also we're sharing in community. So amazing, Kirei. So much, so rich.
And for me, it's just magical. 3 years ago, I wasn't speaking in English. Then to be in connection with the women of Calgary and other parts of the world, speaking in English, in Zoom, wow. And I wanted to add that something really I loved in It's Time to Get Visible. A workshop is really how you guide us with a lot of generosity, and also you're always professional, but you are an incredible mentor and an incredible guide. There is a lot of excellence, but also a lot of generosity and kindness. And that was amazing. You are, for me, an incredible model. And I hope that I will be able to launch also my program in a big way with the same value of generosity and excellence and professional.
Thank you so much, Khera. Yeah, this is means a lot to me that you said that. Yes, and can you believe Khera's like not speaking English? And now, I mean, right? You're telling your story on a stage in English. I can't wait to hear it in French, by the way. And that being said, we are going to have the monologues so we're going to have an experiential workshop over Zoom because we're still in COVID. We will have a live stage because this is part of being bold and visible. So everyone will I'm imagining it's going to be a real event. And I'm hoping it's either fall of this year or spring of next, depending on what happens. But yeah, it's going to be a big event. But we'll be having an experiential workshop from 9 o'clock Mountain to 11 o'clock and on Saturday, the 24th, and then from 11 till 3, we're going to have 3 story stages with amazing women. Kirei and Chiara will be there telling their stories, blow you away, honestly. And these are stories that have been crafted over an incredible amount of commitment and time, and then embodied, practiced into, lived into, incubated, right? You'll see these women like you've never seen them. Amazing, amazing. Okay, to both of you, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly.
Just really love your witness and can't wait to be with you on the 24th. Thank you, everyone, and we'll talk to you all soon.